Hey everyone, it's AngelBlade13. Welcome back to my Kingdom Hearts Final Mix walkthrough. Sora's at level 43. I have the Brave Warrior, Raven's Claw, and Ray of Light equipped. And not much else to do now, so we're gonna head out to the next world. You can see the battle level is pretty high, so you're gonna be careful. If you're level 40-ish or above, then you should be about good. This area here is the main reason I have the Shield 2G equipped. There are several ships that will fly at you from behind, and if you haven't been upgrading your ship's health like I haven't been, they can take you out in one hit. And because they come from behind you, there they are, they're very hard to react to in time. So, having the shield gummy helps. Otherwise, you can just kind of make sure you're just moving back and forth a good deal. So, just keep that in mind. So we have a very unique looking world here compared to a lot of the other ones. If you use Blizzard on those bubbles, you can freeze them and reach this other platform right here. We're going to do the same thing to this one, and then we're going to come back to it in a moment. So after getting that platform, we're going to jump into the bubble, and then we can reach this area down here for an extra chest. So we've gotten all the items here for the time being. We're gonna head forward. Before we go, as usual, just make sure your MP is full.
No vessel, no help from the Heartless. So tell me, how'd you get here?
I simply believed. Nothing more to it. When our world fell into darkness, Belle was taken from me. I vowed I would find her again, no matter what the cost. I believed I would find her. So here I am. She must be here. I will have her back!
Take her if you can.
Stop!
So, you finally made it. About time. I've been waiting for you. We've always been rivals, haven't we? You've always pushed me, as I've always pushed you.
Riku!
But it all ends here. There can't be two Keyblade Masters.
What are you talking about?
Let the Keyblade choose. Its true master. Maleficent was right. You don't have what it takes to save Kyrie. It's up to me. Only the Keyblade Master can open the secret door and change the world.
But that's impossible. How did this happen? I'm the one who fought my way here with the Keyblade.
You were just the delivery boy. Sorry, your part's over now. Here, go play hero with this.
Goofy, let's go. We have to remember our mission.
Oh, well, I know the king told us to follow the key and all, but...
Slower. Sorry.
Hey, don't move. You're hurt.
Why did you come here? I came to fight for Belle. And though I am on my own, I will fight. I won't leave without her. That's why I'm here.
Me too. I'm not gonna give up now. I came here to find someone very important to me.
So Riku just took the Keyblade, and he took our friends Donald and Goofy. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, we'll glide to this chest here. It's pretty helpful. And we're still gonna move forward. So we'll check a few things in the menu. First, we'll take all of Beast's items again. And this should be the last time we have to do this. We'll look at Beast's abilities. Ferocious Lunge, he'll sort of just charge into enemies. Furious Bellow, he'll let out a large roar. Both of them are very helpful. The rest are different support abilities. And I'm going to take off one of the MP Rages and give him Critical Plus. Should be fine. And I'm going to adjust my magic, put on Gravira and Aurora. So because I have the wooden sword, I can't damage enemies normally. I can use magic, or I can just let Beast finish off everything. That's pretty cool. The enemy here is called the Defender. They hit very hard with physical attacks. Their shield can breathe ice attack, and they can shoot fireballs at you. Gravity is very good at dealing with bigger enemies with very large health bars. So use that, and then you should be able to get rid of most of its health. And we're gonna go down this way. You can jump down that way if you feel like it, but I'm just using the platform. Things here are Dark Balls. They mostly just sort of charge into you, and they can sort of phase out a bit as well, and just... they have weird attacks, but nothing really too bad. So having Aurora from this point on is gonna be really useful to you. In addition to the damage reduction, this will also do minor chip damage to enemies, so even enemies that are technically immune to magic, this will still do damage to them. Activating these two crystals releases these two platforms, which allows us to reach that ledge by jumping, but we can also just sort of glide across to it, so you don't really have to do that. When you get to these walls, you get a reaction call, which lets beasts sort of just smash through them. So we've got all the items in this area. Now we can go to that lower bubble, and that'll bring us the next place we need to reach. Another bubble we want to freeze before we use, and we can jump up and get this chest. And we get another dark matter. That's gonna really come in handy later. So I'm mostly using Aurora to deal with these guys. I can kind of just stand there and let the shield damage them, and they'll just sort of run into it. Some of the weaker ones will just jump in and can't really do anything to get past it. It's pretty funny. Notice there is a blue Trinity here, so remember how to get back to this area. We'll want to use that eventually. Next, we want to activate these switches in a certain order. We want to activate this platform, and we can head up. And we're going to get attacked shortly. There we go. Use gravity, and then mostly just let Beast finish it off. So with that, we can head back to the castle gates that were locked earlier. Now, to undo the sort of maze, we just want to activate the switches in the opposite order that we used to get to this point. So save, recover your MP, and we're gonna head back into this bubble to go back outside. There should be more dark balls showing up. You can use your other magic to damage them, but I feel like just using the Aurora once will get rid of all of them pretty handily, so I want to keep using a lot more. A reminder, if you try using regular attacks on them on the Heartless right now. It'll be like when you were on Destiny Islands, sort of in the sense of you just won't really have an effect on anything. It'll show that you hit them, but they will not take any damage.
Oh, purest of hearts, reveal to me the keyhole!
Be on your guard. They're close, I can feel it. Are you ready for them? No?
Quit while you can.
No, not without Kyrie.
The darkness will destroy you.
You're wrong, Riku. The darkness may destroy my body, but it can't touch my heart. My heart will stay with my friends. It'll never die.
Really? Well, we'll just see about that.
Ah!
Sora ain't gonna go anywhere.
You'd betray your king?
Not on your life. But I'm not gonna betray Sora either, 'cause he's become one of my best buddies after all we've been through together. See you later, Donald. Could you tell the king I'm really sorry?
Hold on, Goofy! We'll tie them together! Well, you know, out for one and right for all.
I guess you're stuck with us, Sora.
Thanks a lot, Donald, Goofy.
How will you fight without a weapon?
I know now I don't need the Keyblade. I've got a better weapon. My heart!
Your heart? What good will that weak little thing do for you?
Although my heart may be weak, it's not alone. It's grown with each new experience, and it's found a home with all the friends I've made. I've become part of their heart just as they've become a part of mine. And if they think of me now and then, if they don't forget me, then our hearts will be one. I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
So we're finally fighting Riku.
Keep me straight.
I'm gonna summon Tinkerbell for the first time. Don't really need to do this here, but it's a good chance to show off how she works. So, Riku mostly is, he's similar to the fight with him on Destiny Islands in the sense that after every 4 attacks, he's going to counterattack. But he mostly just has pretty close-range melee attacks. He can charge at you, and he can just do a sort of spinning attack. And you notice with Tinkerbell, she's periodically healing both Sora and the other party members. I'll mention it again. The only way she will exit the fight is if you dismiss her, or if you lose all your health with Sora, then she'll disappear, but she'll revive Sora to full health.
So, your heart won this battle.
And we've learned the last Trinity type, and our party is back together. I'm gonna keep Donald and Goofy in right now, because I need to use some Trinities. Let's look up this way. First we can jump on this ledge and reach a chest. And we have, it looks like, 4 puzzle pieces we need to find. So we're gonna head this way to the library. And we have to rearrange some stuff so we can get through. First we grab this red book, and we're going to put it into this empty slot there. And there's one on this table here, and we want to take the green book out and put the book we just found in a slot there. And we'll hit this button. So that's all we actually have to do. But there's a couple things we can get if we fully rearrange the library. So if you want to just advance the story, you can skip ahead to the puzzle piece section. I'm going to fully rearrange everything and get some extra items. Alright, that's done. Let's see, there's a chest on the top of this bookcase here. So, you've noticed these special pillars here. You can use a reaction to turn them and hopefully get the prize that is inside them. Normally, this takes me about 2 or 3 tries on each one, but of course, the time I choose to film it, I get the worst luck possible on all 4 of them. So, you can get them on the first try, but I'm pretty sure it's random every time you do this. So, I've sped up each individual pillar by a good deal. Well, that was really annoying. We're gonna head to the lift stop here. So now there are some chests hanging up like that. If you use gravity on them, then they will lower and you can access them. Next, I'm going to examine this crystal. And this is gonna take me on kind of a long ride. You'll notice there are 2 chests here, so use gravity, but one of them is blocked by an invisible wall, it seems, so I can only get one. We'll maybe be back here later. Alright, back to the main goal. So I'm going to put fire in my shortcuts. That'll just make this next part easier. So there's 4 pieces we need to get. First, we're going to break the 2 pots on either side of this statue. Looks like there's one of them. There are 8 candles around this high platform. You want to use fire on each of them. There is a time limit for it, so don't take too long. But you have enough time to do all the other stuff while you're lighting them. So just use that red Trinity. This statue, we're just going to push forward a bit. By using thunder on this little thing there, we activate those platforms. And you can use them to reach that one for that puzzle piece, or again, you can just glide over. I guess emblem piece is what I should have been saying throughout this, but either way. Alright, and that's all 4 of them. So we can place all the emblems in the door, but I'm actually gonna go back to all the Disney worlds now. Since we got the ability to use white Trinities, we're gonna go activate those. So if you want to skip ahead and go for it, otherwise you're just gonna be seeing me going back to all those previous worlds. So, since these are all areas that we've been to multiple times, I'm pretty much assuming that you know how to get back to each of them. If there is a part that you're confused about, then ask in the comments and I'll give you quick directions on how to get back to that particular room. Most of the other ones are pretty straightforward, but this is Chamber 6 in Monstro. All the rooms there look very similar, so... And that's the last one, so we'll just check back at the clock tower. And we have the 12 o'clock item, so... Be good, so we'll go back and we can continue the story. And before moving on, we're going to adjust our party. We're going to bring in Beast because, well, he's a beast. So after we put all the emblem pieces into the door, enemies will start showing up again. So I'm gonna suggest you have gravity and stop either in your shortcuts or one of them preset in your magic menu.
Why? It was mine.
Know this. The heart that is strong and true shall win the Keyblade.
What? You're saying my heart's weaker than his?
For that instant it was. However, you can become stronger. You showed no fear in stepping through the door to darkness. It held no terror for you. Plunge deeper into the darkness, and your heart will grow even stronger.
What should I do?
It's really quite simple. Open yourself to the darkness. That is all. Let your heart, your being, become darkness itself.
We can go through the door, but let's clear the enemies in the room first. And there are some new ones I can talk about. So, these enemies are called wizards. They use standard magic attacks that you would expect. So, they can shoot ice attack at you from long range. They have a thunder attack that makes them invincible to physical attacks. They're immune to your fire, blizzard, and thunder spells, but gravity and stop will be effective on them. And the flying enemies here are the wyverns. They don't really have anything too crazy to go into. They mostly just fly high up and do either charging or dive bomb attacks towards you. They hit pretty hard, but most of your abilities are pretty effective at this point. So let's move forward. Now, with the enemies clear, I'm going to use this crystal here, which adjusts something, and I can take this to the upper level. And there's another one of those floating chests. You want to be careful dealing with the enemies here. You just want to try your best not to fall off the edge, otherwise you'll just have to make an annoying trek back up to this point. So typically don't try to do everything with physical attacks and jump over the side to get these guys. Let them come to you or use different spells. You could also use Strike Rate if you feel like, but I felt like having R's on for the time being. If you want, you can use this crystal to make that other platform move. Might make getting to the other side of here a little bit easier, but again, you have glide, so you shouldn't really need to do that. If you try to do this without defeating the wyverns that were on the other side, they usually will follow you over here. So it can be a little bit easier to deal with them here because you don't have to worry about falling quite as much. Okay, that's if you want to try doing that, that might be something to look into. So we get a bit of an ambush here with the wizards. Remember, your standard attack magic is not going to be useful on them, but stop and gravity should be pretty effective. And if you got Aurora, then the chip damage from it will damage them as well. So you notice we just passed a blue Trinity. We'll remember this location for later. It's one of the best Trinities in the game, arguably the best one. So, once we deal with the enemies, we can use gravity on that chest. And we're going to use this crystal here to lower that platform. We could go through the door right there, but first we're going to glide down over this way. And we can go into this little opening. And we get the Royal Crown accessory. This item will give an increase in magic, but it will lower your physical attack strength by 3, so it is a really good item to give to Donald, since he does not really need his attack very high. And we'll just make our way back here, and now we'll continue. So now that Sora got the MP haste ability, I'm going to make sure to equip that. So basically, I'll recover MP a little bit faster now. So let's watch as I mess with the current abilities I have to make sure I can get that in. Alright, and now we have another chest we can use gravity on, and another crystal. So, because we used the earlier one, we now have a nice little stairway to move forward. And now we can use this crystal to bring that platform back up so we can reach the higher ledge. And we'll deal with these enemies, and then we want to activate that crystal. So that didn't seem like it did anything really important yet, but it'll help us reach something later.
So, I see the path has emerged at last.
Yes. The keyhole to the darkness.
Unlock it, and the Heartless will overrun this world.
What do I care? The darkness holds no power over me. Rather, I will use its power to rule all worlds.
Such confidence.
Oh. Ah! Impossible! The Princesses of Heart are all here! It must be her.
Without her heart, she will never be able to release her power.
The King's fools are here. I'll deal with them myself. You stay here and guard the princesses.
So things are looking sort of intense. Make sure you have items set the way you want, because there is a boss fight coming up. I'm gonna switch to using high potions now. The enemies are gonna be hitting a lot harder. And I'm gonna use a cottage. Set your magic the way you want. I suggest having gravity and arrow, and you can just move forward when you're ready.
I'm afraid you're too late. Any moment now, the final keyhole will be unsealed. This world will be plunged into darkness. It is unstoppable.
We'll stop it! After coming this far, there's no way we're gonna let that happen.
You poor, simple fools. You think you can defeat me? Me, the mistress of all evil!
And we're finally fighting Maleficent. She starts out on this platform that you can damage to make fall, or you can use gravity on it once and it'll drop down immediately. One thing with Maleficent is you don't want to hit her with a finishing attack, either your regular combo or the end of something like ours. She can summon the defender enemies. If you want, you can finish them off. They do drop items during the fight, so if you feel confident or just greedy, you can go and grab them. On one dropped a rare synthesis item, so I'm going to do some damage to her. I'm not doing this the quick way here, but there, because I used a finisher, now she's teleporting away. I am going to get that item, because those are pretty difficult to get in this game. So, alright. And yeah, you want to pick those up. She has another attack where she can summon meteors. Here I'm just going to use a couple more attacks and finish her with an R's. There we go. Fortunately, we have a save point right here, so save your game up and make whatever adjustments you might want. Then head through the portal when you're ready, and we've got another boss fight.
Do you need some help?
Riku!
Is that?
Yes, a Keyblade. But unlike yours, this Keyblade holds the power to unlock people's hearts. Allow me to demonstrate. Behold! Now, open your heart. Surrender it to the darkness. Become darkness itself!
This is it. This power! Darkness. The true darkness!
And here we have Dragon Maleficent. This can be a pretty annoying fight. She's always going to open up with that ground stomp and shockwave. So I'm going to summon Tinkerbell so I can deal with her attacks while sort of explaining what she can do and showing it off a bit. So a lot of her attacks are going to be turning while stomping like that. Casting an arrow is going to be pretty helpful. She can breathe fire that stays on the ground for a while. She can bite and sort of just swipe at you normally. And she can summon a group of fireballs that will gradually home in on you. You have to be in the air for pretty much the whole time to do damage to her, which can be frustrating to deal with. One strategy is getting on her back and using fire on her as many times as you can. It's not a great strategy. That that's sort of what I used to do the first time I did this fight when I was younger. It really isn't a good strategy to use, so just kind of, you know, use arrow, attack, and heal when you need. Tinkerbell's really useful here. So now I'm going to show a couple faster ways to deal with this fight. I don't recommend doing this if you're not doing the speedrun. This is only available on Proud Mode. When you have EXP 0 equipped, the entire party will not gain any experience points, but when Sora hits an enemy with a regular finisher attack, either aerial or on the ground, then it's called damage storage. It will increase the damage and effectiveness of your summons by the multiplier of the finishing attack. I have to unequip Hurricane Blast from Sora to use this, and I'm also going to make sure Donald and Goofy have their cheer abilities equipped. And I'm going to put stop in my shortcuts menu, and I'm going to preset Genie. The explanation on EXP 0 is sort of bad, so it's easier when you see it in action. So I'm going to get a couple attacks in when I can, immediately use stop, do an aerial combo, and summon Genie right away. So now I'm going to use stop, let Genie get a full lock on for showtime, and then use it. Gonna be using stop in between, and look how much damage he did from that one. And you know, you pop ethers when you need to. So I don't recommend doing this unless you're doing the Proud Mode speedrun. It is faster, but you lose out on a ton of experience points. And there we go. Alright, and here's one more way of dealing with Dragon Maleficent. I'm going to give myself one Mega Elixir, and I'm going to put stop into my shortcuts. And this is basically how the beginner speedrun is done. So, immediately use stop, do an air combo, and continue using aerial stops on her. Having MP haste really helps to make sure my MP recovery is better. And then I'm just going to keep using stop with aerial combos. And because I'm jumping a bit low, so I'm not hitting her with Hurricane Blast as much, which is making it go a bit slower. But fortunately, Goofy gave me that MP gift, so I was able to keep the loop up. And there I did it with no damage.
How ironic. She was just another puppet after all.
What?
The Heartless were using Maleficent from the beginning. She failed to notice the darkness in her heart eating away at her. A fitting end for such a fool.
So going through that new pathway will advance the story, but we're going to just take a quick look through our journal right now. Here we go, there's Maleficent. Creepy. and the Dragon Maleficent. And check some other stuff. Dalmatians. There's only 3 more puppies to go, so we'll be getting those in the next episode, hopefully. As far as Trinities, we're very close. We just have 2 more blue and 2 more white Trinities. No real change for the mini-games, but we'll be finishing that up soon. That's going to be it for this episode. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing, leave a comment, share with a friend, all the good stuff. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks again. Bye.